Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be carrying on with Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. I don't know how much more there is to play, but we've definitely got more stuff to do now. If you remember last time, the girls had kind of worked out... Mayu got rescued, which was good. The girls had kind of worked out where the talismans they need are, which are the Yin Scroll, that has been mentioned several times. And everyone was kind of going to the school to meet up with the Inspector Tsutsumi to hand over some curse stones, preparing for battle. Together with Yoshimi's fiancée Mayu, Yako and Mio report all they've learned so far to Tsutsumi and the others. Putting all their stories together, they can see their final objective at long last. Komagata High School. Mr. Tsutsumi, this is Maya Chazawa.
Ah, so you're the one. The Sumida police was looking for you. Glad to see that you're alright.
Sorry, I should have told someone I was okay. I was just so pissed off. Falling right into Hahaku's hands, I got myself into some deep shit.
Uhaku seem like they're still up to something. We'll have to make sure they clean up their act once and for all. Get it? Because they sell soap?
Oh. Nice one, boss. You're really on top of your game today.
No, stop trying to make me feel better. I shouldn't have said anything.
More importantly, Mayu, thank you for your cooperation with Yoshimi. We'll get to the bottom of it, I promise. Oh, you must be Detective Ario. I heard a lot about you from Hajime. I'll be counting on you. Catch whoever did this, no matter what.
Okay, so Mayu is handing over a curse stone. There's lots of people here again. Who should we talk to first? Let's talk to Mayu. Oh, Mayu, did you meet with Hitomi?
Yeah, I met her at the spot I was told. She was acting tough, but I think the incident with Hajime has really shaken her up. I bravely explained our situation and had her give Hajime's talisman to me. Oh, here, this is what you're looking for, right?
Indeed.
Yes, I believe that's it. Thank you so much.
Mr. Tsutsumi, about this.
Right, you should hold on to it, Mio. Not like we could use it as it is. Try to figure out what we'll need to do once we get both halves together.
Understood. I'll see what I can do. Can I hand over your curse stone as well?
Do you know where the... Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you know where the other talisman is?
Yes, probably.
Oh, this is Hajime's last job. Finish it for him, okay?
We will. Let's talk to Tsutsumi, maybe?
Now, I heard you had a curse stone, too.
Yeah, I should give it to you then, right? Those things really are a pain in the ass. I'll gladly hand it over to you before it starts giving me any crazy ideas.
So this is the beckoning light, huh? Alright, it's safe and sound with me. Sorry you won't be able to bring him back.
Oh, don't worry about it. He and I were always prepared for the worst anyway.
What the?
What's wrong?
Damn. The trigger for the beckoning light's curse is some serious shit.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I said it to give me weird ideas. See what I mean now?
How's it work?
I'll leave you a note you can read later. We have more important things to worry about now.
Right.
Mr. Tsutsumi? Does that make it 5 curse stones that you've gathered now?
Should be. I want to get the other 4 under wraps as soon as we can.
Let's see, I have no idea about the Whispering Canal. Someone made off with the one-sided reed which Najima had.
Yeah, damn shame.
After that, we don't know about the Taiko of Suguru either, do we?
So, we can assume that curse bearers are still prowling around out there with those ones. What a headache. Hopefully we can find them soon.
So what was the trigger for the, that's the wrong one. The one we just got. The Ever-burning lantern, is that it? No, it's the beckoning light, isn't it? Wait, this one. So what's this? Oh, kills by means of the curse they possess. One who has become a curse bearer. Okay, so it kind of, rebounds onto the curse bearer, other curse bearer. Okay. He's done. Dr. Jun? Come to think of it, did old man Ashimiya end up getting away?
Ah, so word's out already, huh?
He was cornered but managed to take a hostage and escape, is what I heard on the radio. What happened after that?
So that's all they're reporting. Here's what really happened.
So he's dead in this timeline. He's dead, isn't he? He was killed. And the hostage was Satsumi's daughter, whose whereabouts are still unknown. Oh, sorry, that was Mio. Yep, his daughter showing up was a huge surprise. Even Boss couldn't believe it.
Damn it, the hell do you expect? No one could have seen that coming.
So there's already an emergency search underway for her as a key witness and suspect. I'll be rejoining the search for her after we're done here.
Key witness and suspect? But wasn't she a hostage? Could she have killed Najima and fled the scene?
Well, it's just a possibility.
If we're talking possibilities, might as well tell them everything. It's very likely that Najima was killed by a curse stone.
What? By a curse bearer? Oh, it's already evening, so the effect of the Feast of Shadows would be starting to return.
Yeah, which makes it likely that a curse was used to kill him.
Boss, you're repeating yourself. Try to calm down for a sec.
But that would mean... the inspector's daughter is probably a curse bearer, right?
Huh? Did you say something? Maybe I'm losing my hearing in my old age.
Boss, you can hear just fine. Don't play the old man card every time you want to get out of something. We even talked about how she might have the Taiko of Suguru if that's the case.
Did we? No, my memory's a little hazy.
You got a soft spot for your daughter, don't you, Inspector?
It's a little too close to home now.
But either way, we have to find her as soon as possible. That's why we'll be joining the search as soon as we're done here. One more thing. There's a very good chance that his daughter has Michio Shiraishi's talisman.
All the more reason for you to get back to that search. Best of luck.
What the hell has she gotten herself into?
Ah, indeed. I guess this is the end of his family line too, huh? All the people who inherited that talisman before him are already all gone. Got a Mio chat.
Oh, Mr. Tsutsumi. I received a message from Paranormal Affairs earlier. It wasn't from Nekigoshi, but I had to look into something. But I had someone look into something for me.
So even the desk jockeys are lending a hand. Brings a tear to your eye. So, what did they say?
Right, about the Onmyoji woman who was in Edo at the time of the Honjo incident. She was a person of great beauty and discerning taste, but also shamelessly did whatever she wanted. It seemed to match the person seen in the resentful memory for the foot-washing mansion.
Huh. So she must be the one who fought with Seiman over the right.
And they found that her name was Ashino.
Aha!
Ashino, huh? What else?
That's all.
That's not much help.
Oh, but... apparently she was quite the powerful Onmyoji. And she died bearing a similarly powerful resentment. It's possible that she became a vengeful spirit with a connection to the Seven Mysteries.
A vengeful spirit?
If any descendants of Ashino or people otherwise closely aligned with her live today, there's a possibility that spirit awakened and possessed them. Yeah, you mentioned before that spirits can possess people who are closely in sync with them. Though of course this doesn't mean the spirit houses her complete personality. Her resentment and her spirit power, those are the parts of her that would have the strongest influence.
Since Seima's descendants are still around in the present, it wouldn't be surprising if Ashino's were too.
So this is looking like the baby that Najima had, because Shino, as we know, was the woman that he was trying to resurrect, turned into a baby about 20 years ago. So Ashino, possibly still around, or her descendant anyway, possessed, would be about a 20-year-old young woman at this point. So we don't think it's Mayu, we don't think it's Tono, Ayame. So who might it be? It could be Yoko, who has been missing since the intro. Missing from the game, I'm sure she's somewhere. Because Haru is too old. It's not. I don't think it's Mayu. Yako and Mio are too young. Michio's too dead. Hitomi too young. Obviously not him. So it could be Ayami, but that'd be quite a lot for her character to be getting on with. So I think the twist is that it will be Yoko Fukunaga. She was very into the occult, wasn't she? Food for thought.
They might just be desk jockeys, but they wouldn't give us this info if it was only speculation. They must have found some amount of evidence looking into abnormal phenomena or things like that.
Oh, the Feast of Shadows.
There it is, our abnormal phenomenon.
Mio, what do you mean? The person who initiated the curse this time, who we've been calling the Mastermind, they might be possessed by the vengeful spirit of the Onmyoji named Ashino, the energy of Seiman. Do we have any idea who they could be or where to find them? Like, if you looked at them, Mio, would you be able to tell right away? It's like how I didn't recognize that Michio had fused with your consciousness, Yako. Common spirits will leak spirit energy left and right, so I can notice them just by looking carefully. But when spirits of a higher caliber fuse with someone's consciousness, detecting them isn't so simple. Oh. I'm sorry, my skills need a lot of work still, and I don't have anything else to offer. Mio, that's not true at all. You're fine. We'll make this work somehow or other. Thanks. Can we talk to Mio again? Basically, I believe the mastermind behind everything is a woman possessed by the vengeful spirit of the Onmyoji, Ashino. It was very likely the one who gave that record of fates to Arishi, the teacher/researcher. I see. Is this mastermind also the one who killed Hajime, trying to get the record of fates Yen scroll? Yes, I think that's very likely. So that's how it is, huh? Then I want you to catch them no matter what.
Now, is that everything we needed to chat about? If you don't need anything else, we'll be going back to the search.
There is actually one thing.
Oh, what's that?
Just completely hypothetically? Hypothetically, what if the inspector's daughter was the mastermind? I mean, she's a woman. It seems like she was after the talismans.
Oh, I'm sorry, don't really understand what you mean.
Boss, come on, we've got to look at the facts.
But that would mean Inspector Satsumi would also have to be one of Ashino's descendants. Oh, right, you're just a normal person, right, Inspector?
Unless that's why you're so resistant to the paranormal.
Don't believe I've ever heard anything about being related to some Onmyoji.
Oh.
But, well, if you put it like that, her being the mastermind, it's possible.
Really?
Now, I say possible, but I mean unlikely, is what I want to think. Damn it, I don't even want to imagine it.
Boss, if we're going to consider it, we have to do it properly. No dragging your heels about it.
No, it's not that. There's something I never told her, never wanted to tell her. The truth is, she's not my real daughter.
Ooh, what?
20 years...
Oh, here we go. It is her then, isn't it? 100%.
20 years ago, well, it's a long story, but we took her in when she was just a baby.
Do you know anything about...
do you know anything about her birth parents?
You could, say I do, I guess, but really, I don't know anything.
What's that supposed to mean? I don't get it.
Ario, you heard what I said, didn't you?
Just now? About 20 years ago? No, boss, that can't be. Nejima's...
That's right. When we arrested Fumichika Nejima, there was a baby at his house on the brink of death. That was my daughter, Ayami Satsumi. She goes by Ayame Tono now.
What?
Someone had to take care of her. The baby holds no blame for the circumstances she came from.
But boss, according to Nejima, that baby... It's his former lover reincarnated using black magic.
What?
Personally, I think that story is bullshit.
According to Nejima... Right, catching them up.
My goodness.
That's hard to believe from Nejima's behaviour, but can it really be true?
I've got a few doubts. We have to question whether the Shino woman ever really existed in the first place. There are no records of her and no body was found. Her name never came up once during the investigation. Even if this woman really existed, I'm skeptical that someone could be reincarnated as a baby through black magic.
I agree. No matter how you look at it, a spell with that effect is hard to believe. Even the supernatural has rules that must be followed. Seems more likely he's deluded himself, not wanting to recognize that a spell he'd risked his life on failed to work.
That's my thinking, too. The more natural conclusion is that the baby is his and Shino's and that she died in childbirth. As long as we don't know Shino's origins, we have to consider the possibility that she could be a descendant of Ashino.
Huh? But nothing else, their names are pretty similar. Okay, assuming all of that is true for a moment. Hey, Yami getting her taken away by Najima and then killing him? That would mean that she killed her own father.
Calm down. This is all still conjecture. But now that Najima is dead, we have no means to investigate. So regardless of everything, there's only one thing that matters. She's my daughter. As her parent, I'm responsible for her. Nothing can change that.
I understand.
All right, we should get back to the search. We'll find her and clear up all of this.
Yes, sir.
The talisman you young ladies are looking for has something to do with this as well. I'd appreciate it if you could help us find it. So if anything happens, please call the police.
We will. I'm worried about Hitomi, so I'm going to head to where she is. I'll be waiting to hear some good news from you all.
Ho 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 ho. Okay, where are we now? So we've got Haru's little storyline here. So let's go and do that. Last resort. Summary of previous events. Haru and Richter rescue Mayu Chozawa and interrogate her along with Takumi Yumioka. Yet they fail to gain any particularly useful information about the curse bearers. They decide to return to Haru's home when... Now, did Richter give Ayame Haru's address? I think he might have done. Shigama Mansion reception room. We received an update on the hostage situation. The 56-year-old male suspect who announced his intent to commit mass murder in Sumida City today had taken a woman hostage and gone on the run, but was found by police in a park in Sumida after 4 p.m. and confirmed dead. The weapon that the suspect was said to possess was nowhere to be found on site, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. Furthermore, the female hostage was not present, and the search for her continues. Interesting. If it's being reported on the news, then that lends credence to her story. What are we thinking? Well then, how should I proceed? Is this what it's like to be rushing to one's doom? He was quite shaken just moments ago, but he seems better now. You'd think it'd be harder for him to keep his cool. Anyways, I should ask about her side of the story. Oh! Oh, you're there. Okay. Well, it's just like I said, right? The female hostage mentioned on the news just now. That must have been you. Which means you killed Najima with your own curse stone. Well, you said you'd give me refuge, so I came to take you up on that offer. What are you planning? Me? Well, obviously. I'm on to my last resort. So you're a curse bearer with a curse stone too, right? Are you surprised? Yeah, I have a curse stone of my own. It's the Taiko of Suguru. Then why go after other people's curse stones? Because killing people is bad, you know? Don't you think so too? Yes, you're right. It's wrong to kill people for the sake of resurrection. Right? And it's not even 1 for 1, so it's hardly a fair exchange. Either way, that's why I wanted to only use soul dregs gathered by others. But that didn't work out in the end. No one had the backbone to use their curse. The world's gone soft. With no one mercilessly using their curse in pursuit of their own goals, I had to take matters into my own hands. I heard Namagaka, that young man you were with, he used his curse stone too. Huh? How do you know that? Ugh, creepy much. Are you stalking me? I may have heard it from a detective I know. Oh, there it is. Cops. Bet you know a bunch. I know your type. People who just boast because they know a couple of cops. But if the police is filled with nothing but scum, you seem to hold quite a grudge against the force. Speaking of, this guy's really creeping me out. What's the deal with him anyway? You going to explain? Even the way he moves is all weird and exaggerated. Right, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm... No thank you. Oh. So what were we talking about again? Oh right, Yotaro Namagaki. Oh, he's no good, honestly. He was such a wuss. I had to spur him on so many times for him to even use his curse, and even then he was pissing his pants. And just when I take my eyes off him, he hands his curse stone over to someone. Honestly, he's a disappointment. So that's what happened. Which is why I figured I had to do it myself if I wanted it done right, you know. That's why my last resort is collecting soul dregs on my own.
She's nuts, isn't she?
Let me introduce myself. It's hard to talk as strangers. Is it? And are you okay telling me who you are? Well, I won't stop you. Do as you please. Well, I'm Haru Shigima, and this is my house. My father and husband are both with the police. Oh, is that so? Then you know the cops are just the worst people, right? Well, there are certainly many who are cold, especially with their own family. In a police family, one is always expected to just grin and bear it, no matter what happens. God, I know, right? What a relief. You understand? I think we might get along. Oh, well, I'm glad then.
And I'm Richter Kai, private investigator.
Did I ask? But you're an investigator? So your job is to sneak around and follow people to pry into their secrets, right? Oh, is that why you keep probing with all those questions? Ooh!
Guess there's not much I can do to change that terrible impression you got of me.
Hey, lady, why are you working with this dude? I asked him to look into something for me. Really? It's just that he keeps looking this way.
Talk to Richter again. Anyways, I should ask her about her side of the story. Should we have another think? How should I proceed? Isn't your father a police officer as well?
That man is not my father, not in name or deed. He sounds like there's some bad blood there. I've already legally cut all ties. He even had the nerve to act all high and mighty today and still refused to help me.
You met him today?
Yeah, today. Remember that chief, Satsumi, who was chasing Najima? Well, that's him, my dad.
What? You're his daughter?
Former daughter, I've cut ties. He's never acted like a father, so he doesn't deserve the title.
You know, I heard something about that Najima guy. Apparently he wanted to get revenge on Chief Inspector Satsumi for his arrest by going after his daughter.
Wait, really?
And I heard the police had been searching non-stop to take you into protective custody. So that explains why the police were staking out your place too.
Man, how could I have known that? They came in such intimidating numbers. Wait, huh? Hold on a minute. Doesn't that mean that Najima was specifically after my life today?
Well, that sounds about right. It's a good thing you got out unscathed, or rather, managed to turn the tables on him.
Oh, that means legally speaking it was self-defense. But that truly was quite frightening. To think I have to go through this just for being related to a cop. Oh, it's a disgrace. It truly is. To cause their own child such trouble. I'm sorry. It's okay. You're not the one that needs to apologize, lady. I'm sorry. It just reminded me of what happened to my son. Your son? What happened? My child was also kidnapped and murdered in order to enact revenge against the police, you see. What? How awful. That's terrible. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Now you say it, I do remember hearing about an incident like that last year. That must have been your son, huh? My condolences. So when you were taken hostage by Najima, you used the curse stone in the gardens and swiftly made your getaway? Well, yeah. I didn't really have time to think on it. At the time, I only thought of how to get out of there. Then, what about now? Could you use it again, your curse stone? Well, the curse stone doesn't respond during the day, but it's evening now. So I tried using the curse just now, and yep, seems I activated it.
What? You're using it now?
It might still be a little weak. I guess it's not supposed to be used repeatedly. But I think I can get it to work once more. Oh. That's so. Sure is, so I'll give you a final warning. It's already started, so be careful, It started? What started? The curse, of course. All that's left is for the conditions to be fulfilled. What?
Uh-oh. Richter, help. Calm down, ma'am. If using a curse, one would target a curse bearer. If using a curse, one would target... Okay, so he's kind of telling me to use it on her, isn't he? What is the trigger for our one again? I'll have to look it up. We've got the clappers thing, yeah?
Kills by burning. One who is in possession of a fire or fire-starting device. Okay. She activated her curse. The curse stones can be used already? I let my guard down. I didn't think it could be used this early in the evening. Ma'am, please, calm down. What should I do? Should I keep her talking? Haha, this one. No, instead of talking about that, how about we talk about why you're so shaken? As I thought, you have a curse stone too. You're a curse bearer, aren't you, lady? Let's try. Oh, okay, we're probably gonna have to replay this, but let's go with honesty first of all. Yes, I am. I'm sure you've already noticed. Well, yeah. Around last night. It was a little too obvious. Judging by your address, I'm guessing you've got the haunting clappers? Yes, that's right. There's a lot of soul drugs on the table for killing a curse bearer, you know. I'm well aware. Did you get soul dregs when you killed Najima? Of course. His curse stone already contains some soul dregs as well. I think killing one more curse bearer will be enough for the rite. You can combine soul dregs across several stones. Correct. All it needs is the prerequisite amount. As long as you got that, it doesn't seem to matter where you got them from. I see. Then you won't mind if I took them, right? My lady. You're quite motivated, aren't you? Ma'am? Let's keep trying to see if she's got any cigarettes or anything on her. Do you smoke? Huh? Well, a little. Feel free to smoke if you want to, please. I'm okay. I don't see any ashtrays on display either. Should we use our curse? Let's use it. Huh? Man, please, think this through. Ah! It was us or her, wasn't it? Ah! Ma'am, why? It was the only way. Richter? Could we settle any outstanding tabs now? Yeah, sure. This is going to be an ending, isn't it? Some days later. Emma Mori, you got a moment? Of course. What is it, Mr. Richter? I was just curious. Have you heard of the legend of the mother who prayed to the Samita River and resurrected her dead child? What are you on about? The mother searched so desperately for her abducted child that she lost her mind. Her son was found dead in Samita River, so she then built a mound and continued to pray there until her son somehow emerged from the mound, back from the dead, or so the legend goes. I heard it's being adapted into a no play too. Interesting. And? Well, it just had me thinking that legends really do exist. Sorry to ask again, but what are you on about? Let's see what the little epilogue is for this one, huh? Never mind. It is what it is. Welcome to me office. Might be a bit small and dirty, but welcome. Come on, Ernestine. Say hello. That's it. Good girl. Oh, that boy over there. That must be... Hey, kid, I'm a private investigator. I worked with your mother not too long ago. Oh, is that... did she bring Shuichi back? What's that? You want to be an investigator when you grow up too? Oh, that's great. So much better than being a police officer. Hey, Amamori, don't you tell the kid to give up on his dreams. I think it's a great idea. Why don't you bring us all some tea instead? Amamori, isn't that, the Hinaku Soaps woman?
Pardon me, let's start over. What brings you to my humble office today?
Haru's legacy. Everything coming up Richter. So Shuichi came back by the sound of it. At least that's my inference. Well, let's go back in and try and take a different path then. We'll resume it from... Start after Haru admits to being a curse bearer, so we won't go back too far. Okay, so this is pretty much where we came to, isn't it? So what should we talk about? What does she want to do? What is your wish, Ayame? Is it really to resurrect Katsushika Hokusei? Yes, there's no life that holds more value than his. Including my own. You're saying you'd be willing to die if it meant bringing Hokusei back to life. Not all life is equal. At least, not to me. A life that can birth art with the power to move hearts is infinitely more worthy. Compared to that, the life of someone like me, someone that can't produce a thing, has no value. That's unhinged. It is. I'm still young. It's the age for wild thoughts. But aren't you the same as me? What? You've got a life more important than your own. A life you consider more important than the lives of many others. That's what you're doing it all for, isn't it? You're right. If I can save my son, I couldn't care less about my life or the lives of others. Who's unhinged now? I'm a mother. It is what it is. Dang, the feelings of a proper parent are something else. Maybe the time to talk about her father? Your father, the chief inspector. I met him not too long ago. Oh, really? He came off a little stiff and awkward. Huh, there's a surprise. But there was something charming about his seriousness, and he seemed like he cared a lot about his daughter. Oh, please cut it out. It's gross. Don't you know a thing about us? Outsiders shouldn't butt into other families' affairs. Though he may as well be a stranger to me now. Even if you cut legal ties, you're still related by blood. Huh? We're not related at all. Huh? He probably thought that I never noticed it, but it wasn't hard for me to figure out that I wasn't related to them by blood. So you were adopted? Well, I got curious, so I looked into it. It was all pretty straightforward. I was a baby when they took me in. All they did was raise me. Oh. My mother first got pregnant shortly after she married. But it was a stillbirth. Oh. The whole affair left a deep wound on her heart. My father couldn't bear to see it. So it was for her sake that he did it. I was a substitute, a replacement for the child she lost. He decided that all by himself. He didn't discuss it. Maybe he was trying to be thoughtful, so any baby would have been fine as long as it could have comforted the woman who hoped to become a mother. Putting it in such a way. It's not easy to raise a child. My mother was bewildered, wouldn't you be, after being told to raise a baby that wasn't your own? But she couldn't just abandon the baby either. Yet my father just left everything to my mother and never lent a hand. He is so damn selfish. The two of them grew apart. I watched them try and figure out how to understand each other, and the sight of it disgusted me. It was a messed up family, I tell you. Well, I guess my presence was to blame for that rift to begin with. You shouldn't say that. I know he's bad at expressing himself and has this work, but still, that shouldn't be an excuse. But knowing all that, I couldn't take it anymore. It just made me want to hurry up and leave home and live on my own. I still rely on him for tuition and allowance, but that much is normal for most kids, right? I don't want him to start acting like he's my father now just because he's doing the minimum. I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like it was tough for all of you. I'm sorry, you're right. It's not my place to talk about your family. Oh well, I may have said too much. To think I spilled all that when I don't even know what the conditions are. Could it be what we were talking about had something to do with the activation conditions for the haunting clappers? Who knows, How did you kill Fumachika Nejima? I'm not telling you. I only ask because it does concern me. He was one of the reasons my child was kidnapped. There's not much to say. We talked, and he cleared the conditions for my stone. Did he show any signs of remorse over his past crimes? It didn't feel like he did, no. I see. The world is full of trash men, I tell you. I agree. Why is she looking at me when she says that? I think she may have been looking at Richter. In a way, I guess you could say you put a stop to Nejima's mass murder schemes. About that. There's no guarantee that I won't do it myself. Huh? I picked up his curse stone of the one-sided reed. It really is something else. Unfortunately, I can't use a curse stone that's not mine until it's late at night. Really? Are you okay with telling me that? Ah, how silly of me. I let that slip. Hee hee. Right, let's go for her desire. But if that's your wish, then what do you plan on doing if you don't get your wish? Oh, I haven't thought of that. I might just keep on trying to bring Hokusai back some other way. You really are obsessed. You and her Haku's chairwoman might be cut from the same cloth. Who's that? She's like an all-powerful vortex of obsession turned to yokai-level proportions. Yokai. You're saying I'll end up like her? Are you looking forward to such a future? I'd rather not have to wait until I'm old and creaking. I want it to happen now. I'll put my life on the line for Hokusai. Why? Negotiate. Listen, Ayame, I have something to ask you. No, the answer's no. The curse stone in your possession, I'm not giving it up. You're right. We're both made of stronger stuff than that. You're not giving it up. And neither am I. You know full well, right? That there's no room left for negotiation here. You're right. There's not. I can't back out of this. Let's ask about tobacco then. Do you smoke? Huh? Well, a little. Feel free to smoke if you want to, please. I'm okay. I didn't see any ashtrays out on display. Does no one smoke in this family? A little rare, isn't it? Nobody in the family does. Then why did you ask me if I did all of a sudden? Well. I mean, I'm not really being presented with a choice, am I? I can't exit this list. I guess we negotiate, use curse, right? Ah! Did you try to use your curse just now? It seems I didn't meet your curse's conditions. I wonder if I was smart to secretly toss the lighter I was carrying earlier. Oh. When did... You made a mistake when you decided to ask me about smoking. If a source of fire is the condition for your stone, then you won't see me falling for it now. Oh. You wasted your chance with all this chatter. All you needed to do was activate your curse first. I brought everything Nejima had on him, including the lighter he was holding. Ah. But it's over now. Yes, I concede. Alrighty. With your cards on the table, you're out of options. It might be possible for Mr. Investigator there to pin me down by force, but he's not going to do that, is he? Correct, I won't take that risk. Not while your curse's conditions are unknown. Oh, coward. I came to kill you and acquire your soul dregs, but after hearing you out, I've got a question for you. Why don't you just give up on the rite of resurrection? Huh? You said it was your son, right? The one you want to bring back? But haven't you done enough? I'm sure your son is content knowing you cared for him this much. I I'm truly willing to die to resurrect Hokusai, but you can't say the same, right? If you're going to bring your son back, you have to be alive as well, right? In fact, what you really want is for you both to live, right? Yes? Well, even if you both live to see it, your son will grow up knowing you for the one you are, for who you are, someone who stole the lives of others to bring him back. You'll be putting the burden of shouldering all the lives sacrificed for him on his little shoulders. Are you really okay with that? Oh. If you didn't even think about that, then what you're doing is not for your son. It's for yourself. Aren't you just bringing him back to fulfill your own desires? That's not...
Ma'am? What she's saying may be harsh, but holds a kernel of truth. Don't reduce yourself to nothing but a mother who'd sacrifice anything for her son.
But that's not...
We discovered the truth behind his kidnapping. Next, you should take some time to come to understand your own feelings. I'll help you every step of the way. Getting to the heart of things is what an investigator does.
What will you do?
Ma'am, if you relinquish the curse stone to a curse bearer, you will no longer be a curse bearer. You won't be a target anymore. The army has given you a chance. Think hard and then give your answer.
Well, I think we give it up, don't we? Having gone through all that. We've seen her ending when she activates it, so we'll give it up. Very well. Here. Thanks! Glad you could see reason.
Ma'am, you made the right choice.
Dang, you really didn't collect any soul dregs, huh? I promised myself that if I ever used it, it would be only once. But in the end, it didn't come down to numbers. So they only need to be carrying a flame? Huh, this seems pretty practical. Well, I'll be taking my leave then. There's no point going after you for soul dregs, so I'm off to the next curse bearer.
Do you know who remains? You speak as if you've already figured it out.
I've got a pretty good idea from our talk. What will you do? Do you plan to stop me?
It's not my place to intervene.
All right then. Hey lady, can I borrow your phone? I don't mind. But who are you calling? The cops. I think it would be faster if I called them directly. Oh, conclusion. Ooh. Is this the true ending? Could be. Let's go for it. Tsutsumi and Eryo continue their investigation, deciding to meet with Aomi Tono to get to the bottom of it all. What will be the conclusion to the curses of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, to Seimen and Ashino's intertwined fates? Interesting. This does sound like the end, doesn't it? Tetsuo Tsutsumi, 6 p.m. Sumida River.
Hey. How long has it been since we saw each other? 3 years? How have you been? I think the last time was when you came to see me after deciding to go to university.
That wasn't because I wanted to see you. I just needed money to pay my tuition.
Ah, no one to mince words, eh?
You came alone, right?
Yeah, it's just me. You make it sound like I'm handing over ransom money for hostages.
I just don't want to get caught, okay?
Never thought I'd see the day that you called the police.
Boss, is it time to deploy the kissy face?
There's something I need to see you about.
Well, all right then. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's go through things one by one. The sun is starting to dip down into the horizon. This long, long day is about to end. We don't have to worry about Najima's threat anymore, but I sure didn't expect this to happen.
There isn't really much else to pick out. I wondered if there might be a bird sticker somewhere, but maybe it's a bit late in the day for that. Let's think.
She called the police asking for me by name and demanded that I come here to meet her alone. They asked if I wanted a team to set up a perimeter, but I had them stand down. Sure, she might make a run for it, but I don't want her panicking if she has a curse stone. Besides, I'm not trying to take her in by force. She sure has changed over the past 3 years. Got more of a grown-up air about her. Hard to believe that she's the same little girl who would get omelette all over her face when we took her out to eat. Wait a minute, is that how far back I have to go for a happy memory together? No wonder she hates me.
Alright, what are we going to talk about? I think he'd probably start off with Fumichika Najima, wouldn't he? Maybe we're supposed to work down in order.
Then I'll put this bluntly. Did you kill Najima?
And if I did? Would you hide me from the police?
Well, I don't know if I,
That's what I thought. Your job is the only thing you really care about. Yes, I did it.
You?
I don't think he even knew I was a curse bearer. He brought me to those gardens and I realised while he was talking to me that he fulfilled the condition of my curse. So I just gave it a shot. I didn't think it would actually activate. So, there's no going back now?
That's not true. You can still make things right before you make them worse.
Then let me say it another way. This is my chance and I won't throw it away.
Your chance?
Well, let's work down these in order then.
You have a curse stone, don't you?
I do.
You wouldn't happen to feel like handing it over, would you? The police will handle any damages the curse caused. Now, before you do any more wrong with it.
I'm not giving it up.
Of course not. Me being a curse bearer. Are you after my life?
That's exactly what I'm here for. I didn't come to chat. We can talk all you want, but as soon as the condition for my curse is met, I'll use it. No hesitation.
Or do you have more than one? How many curse stones do you have?
3. Not that it matters.
3, huh?
I'm not handing them over.
Why are you willing to go so far for the rite of resurrection? What do you want with it?
Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. You just call it stupid and dismiss the idea completely.
Come on, I wouldn't do that. Maybe together we can think of a way for you to get what you want without resurrection.
I want to bring Katsushika Hokusai back to life.
Hokusai? What? Hokusai, the ukiyo artist? That Hokusai? You want to bring him back to life?
That'd be quite the feat, huh?
I heard you liked his art, but why would you do something so stupid?
See?
Ah.
The only time I ever felt there was a place I belonged was when I was immersed in the dreamlike world of ukiyo-e. Though I'm sure you never noticed.
Really? I had no idea.
It saved me. Hokusai is the reason I'm still alive today.
I didn't know you felt so hopeless.
You would only realize it now, but it's too late. Feeling sorry won't do either of us any good. From the moment I heard about the rite of resurrection, I knew that was my destiny. If this is all I ever accomplish, I'll die happy.
You're really serious about this. Did Najima say anything to you?
He said a lot of bad things about you, that's for sure.
Yeah, not surprised there.
So I said a lot of bad things about you back. I didn't want to be outdone.
Harsh.
In that sense, I felt just a little like he was my kindred spirit.
No, kindred spirit, what are you talking about? He's a dangerous criminal.
But I'm a murderer now too, aren't I? Maybe we're not so different.
No, you're different.
Am I?
Well, maybe not that different.
But at least you're honest.
No, I haven't been the best father. But I wonder, of all the fathers in the world, are there any who wouldn't cover for their child if they'd committed a crime?
How should I know? You're the detective here. You must have seen plenty of cases like that.
Yeah. Plenty of parents take the fall for their children or give them a place to hide. As a person, it's wrong, but maybe as a parent, it's the right thing to do.
I don't know. But I think having a father like that would make it easier to go to him for advice if I did do something wrong. Maybe there's a sense of security in knowing that no matter what happened, you'd have at least one person on your side.
I see. So that's what it would take to be on your side. I can't do that.
That's okay. I wasn't really expecting you to.
So Najima really didn't tell you anything?
Not really, no.
Can I ask you one thing? Do you know anything about the talisman Michio Shiraishi had?
Michio Shiraishi?
From the car crash you were in with that Namagaki guy.
Oh, with Yutaro. Yeah, it was there.
Yutaro? That sounds like... So you and him were...
Yeah, not really. He was kind of a boring guy.
What, you serious? But he said...
You're getting off track, Mr. Satsumi. The talisman. Get back to the talisman.
We should have relied on him for this.
Well, we don't plan on seeing him again, it doesn't matter. But with the hit and run case on top of everything else, you're really in deep. Is that really what you want?
Is that really what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, no. Tell me about the talisman. Did you take it from the scene?
You mean this?
That's it.
I picked it up at the scene of the crash. I didn't want to leave fingerprints behind, duh.
That's all? There's really no other reason?
What's the big deal? Is it really that special, this whole thing?
Yeah, it's really important. Would you mind giving it to me?
Important? For what?
For putting a stop to the curses of the Seven Mysteries.
Oh, so that means if I give you the talisman, I won't be able to use the rite. Then no way, I'm definitely keeping it.
Yeah, I screwed that one up.
Mr. Satsumi, you really can't do any better than that. Come on, the talisman.
Will you give me the talisman?
What? No way, I can't lose the rite.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you from Najima. Are you hurt?
And there it is. That's so like you.
What?
You're only mentioning that now? Shouldn't that have been the first thing you asked me?
Well, I was just,
You're not worried about me. All you care about is yourself.
Yeah, you're right. I've been selfish, I know.
Oh, come on, Mr. Satsumi. You can do better than that. You really screwed up there, huh? They're kind of hinting we might have to do this conversation again. I'm fine. I managed to get away somehow or other.
Right. I'm glad. How is she? Yasuko, I mean.
Mum, I haven't kept in touch with her. Been on my own this whole time. I'm sure you've reached out to her, though, haven't you?
I did call her this morning, actually, just to make sure she was safe. She's been running around all over the place looking for you.
Sounds like she's fine to me. Did you contact her after I called the police to tell her you'd heard from me?
I did not. Well, I've heard you're into nightlife and staying out late these days. Didn't want her to worry more than she already was.
You'll want to talk. I think I've let you talk enough. Mind letting me have a turn?
By all means.
You're hiding something. You're hiding something from me, aren't you? You can deny it.
I'm not.
Wow, that's a bold declaration. Now then, let me tell you how my curse stone, the Taiko of Suguru, works.
What?
My curse bludgeons to death anyone I find out is hiding something from me. So if you try to cover something up that I know is true, I'll be able to use my curse on you. With that in mind, can I ask you one more thing?
I get it, why you wanted to see me. And let me tell you one thing first. The Evergreen Beach has a similar condition. I can use my curse on anyone who tells me a lie.
What? How is that fair? And you'd use that curse on me?
As an officer of the law, it's inexcusable. But as a parent with a duty to his child, I have no other choice.
Are you threatening me? Do you really think that's enough to convince me to do as you say?
I don't want to use it either, but for your sake, I suggest you try not to lie.
Go ahead then. If I lie, then so be it. Okay, I'm going to ask. If you try to hide it, now you really will die. Am I your real daughter? I'm just a baby you picked up to replace your stillborn, aren't I? And you could never bring yourself to tell me who my real parents were, so you just kept hiding it. Still too much of a coward to tell me, huh? You don't like the truth, so you won't admit it. Then my real parent is the man I was just with.
Ayame! Is that all you have to say? Then I only have one answer for you. You are, honestly and truly, our daughter. Nothing more, nothing less.
Even now, you're still trying to hide it. Why? Are you really that stupid?
Ah! Oh! Ah!
Ah, boss. Why? Is your pride worth dying for?
Ah!
It's getting the shit beaten out of him. Huh. I should have known. Why? Why go this far to hide it?
Ayame, listen.
Huh? You're... how?
Ayame, be proud. No matter what happens, you are our precious daughter.
No way! How are you still alive?
I don't know what that piece of shit Najima filled your head with. But you're not Shino. And you're not Ashino either. You're our daughter, Ayami Tsutsumi. Alright, I guess it's Tono now. Well, that's fine too. Tsutsumi, Tono, both will always be part of who you are.
What? Why are you doing this? That's not true. The curse proves it's not.
Sure, you probably don't have many memories of us playing together. And I did leave everything at home to your mum. And I was barely ever there for you. Even so, when I was working, no matter how grisly a crime scene I was at, all I ever wanted for you was for you to grow up to be happy. That's it.
Why say all of this now? So,
do one last thing for me. I want you to tell me the truth too. And if you lie to me now, I'm taking you with me.
Stop, I can't.
The mastermind behind all this, the one who awakened the curses of the Seven Mysteries in order to use the right. Wasn't you, was it?
No, I wouldn't even know how to do that.
And picking up Michio Sharishi's talisman was just coincidence, right?
Huh? Yeah, I already told you that.
Ah, good. Hearing that, I can rest easy. You're nothing like Najima. You can stand on your own two legs. You can keep living without escaping into a fantasy. You can hate me. You can dream all the crazy dreams you want. Just don't ever stop trying to do good. You're a victim of your curse, too. It's not too late to atone for the hit and run, for using the curse. Don't run away. You can still make things right. I know you can, because you're my daughter. And after that, just live the best life that you can.
Dad! Ah! Boss! That day at 6:18 p.m., Ayome Tenno was taken into custody. Tetsuo Tsutsumi's death was confirmed at the same time. The 5 curse stones possessed by Tsutsumi, as well as the 3 given up by Ayame, lost their curse bearers. This temporarily extinguished their spirit power, allowing Mio Kurosuzu to obtain them and seal them away without difficulty. That's only 8, isn't it?
It's the canal one is still the one missing, I think. The Yin talisman, possessed by Ayami Tono, was recovered and entrusted to Mio Kurosuzu as well. Thus, any massacre that could potentially be caused by this iteration of the curse was prevented before it could ever happen. Or so it seemed. Ooh. The Taiko Suguru, an enduring superstition. There once was a daimyo from the Hirosaki domain in Suguru who built a residence in Midoricho on a large piece of land. On this estate was an almost 8-metre-tall tower that served as a lookout for fires. Only a designated firefighter was allowed to use the large drum that resided atop the tower in the event of a fire. While most towers used wooden blocks to sound the fire alarm, for some reason this residence was permitted to use drums. The residence and its special privileges led to much speculation and gossip among the townsfolk. Kills by bludgeoning one who is discovered to be hiding something from the curse bearer. This one could be Sayman. Look at the curse echo. A resentful memory. The deep sound of drums once more reverberates through the night air. How long has it been since we started hearing them each day? Could it be coming from the daimyo's residence? I've heard that they have a drum in their fire watchtower instead of wooden clackers, but I don't see a fire, so why are they sounding the drum? Then one morning a body was found. Isn't that old man Kanzo, the ukiyo painter? He lived nearby, but he had been down and out for years, despite his best efforts to sell his works. Every now and then his granddaughter would visit, and he would teach her to paint. It was the old man's only pleasure. I don't think this is Sayman, then. One day his granddaughter told him about her dreams. Curses, souls, resurrection. Hearing her tale, the old man was gripped by a sudden zeal and began to paint with great fervour. His work quickly became famous, enchanting all those who viewed the strange imagery. Even the daimyo had taken notice. What could possibly have happened? The people whispered among each other. It looked almost as if he had been beaten like a drum. Weird. Okay. The one-sided reed is another one we don't know. We know the story. But it's curse power. Kills by dismemberment one whose face... Oh, yeah, okay, so we did read this. Whose face, address, name, age, occupation, and location are all known by the curse bearer. A very specific one. But I don't think we've seen the resentful memory yet. Okoma was a lovely woman. She was spirited, worked hard, and lived a frugal yet pleasant life, until her husband hanged himself. My husband, a swindler? Who would believe such a thing? Okoma was determined to clear her husband's name. That is when she met Tomezo, a man that was a stranger to these parts. This man must be one of the daimyo's spies. It appears that after my husband I will be next. So be it, but what is he hunting for? Okoma, putting on the airs of a woman mourning her husband, went to the bridge nightly to seek information from Tomezo. She soon discovered that she was right, and that her husband had been deceived. Okoma decided to bring her newfound knowledge to the daimyo, much to Tomezo's alarm. Angered at having been misled, he confronted her on the bridge, but Okoma would not listen. She cursed him, calling him vile names, and eventually his patience had worn thin. Blood spattered everywhere, and by the time he returned to his senses it was already too late. He looked over the bridge into the river of blood below, and saw the corpse of a woman missing both an arm and a leg. So who's this Tomezo guy? Okay. Right, well that wasn't the on Miyoji's memories either, was it? Oh, Jun area. Okay, we're still going. Sorry for keeping you out so late, Mio. I can't take my mind off the curse bearer who was never found. Oh, it's no problem for me. I usually work at night anyway. Did you see Yako home safely? Yep, we sent her home in a patrol car earlier. Apparently she put up quite a fuss, saying she wanted to see things through to the end. Thank you. The Feast of Shadows was starting to take effect, so it would have been dangerous. Oh, we're still looking then. We're Jun now, I suppose. So much has happened this evening, but it's still not over. We haven't found the curse bearer of the Whispering Canal, and we still have to put a stop to these curses. 8 p.m. With no one around, this place is silent as the grave. No one wants to go out at night in these parts after everything that's happened over the past 2 days. Oh, is that a bird? Mockingbird number 20. I might have half of them now. Oh, I clicked on the phone box, but it was just the surroundings thing. Okay. Not much here. I guess we talk to Mio.
I can't get off my mind of the remaining curse stone, the Whispering Canal, and who the mastermind is. But we have to deal with that thing before I can worry about any of that. How's it going with the two talismans? Have you figured out the location of the Record of Fate's Yin scroll?
I have, more or less. When I combined the contents of the two talismans, they formed a seal which could be undone. The things inside the talismans that looked like scraps of wood were actually a tiny scroll kept folded up by the seal. Who'd have thought the talismans actually contained the scroll itself?
So that's the Yin scroll then. What's it say?
Well, there's one more seal we have to undo to open the scroll. It's giving me some trouble, so I was actually hoping you could help me out.
Okay, unlocking the seal. Got it. Sure thing. I don't know what I'll be able to do, but let me at it.
Well, I didn't expect you to be so eager to help. It's oddly reassuring. Okay, let's see. There are 5 seals holding the scroll shut. I think we have to remove them in the correct order. Each seal is a different design. A carp, a light, a beech leaf, a taiko drum and a reed.
Remove the 5 seals in the right order, okay. If we get it wrong, is it going to, go boom?
Huh? No, we'll just have to try again. I tested it once already.
Oh, you already tried it yourself, so brave.
I think it's devised so the seal can only be undone if the curses for the right have already been unleashed. And I think there's a hint to opening it hidden in something related to the curses. Just let me know when you're ready.
I guess it makes sense for such an important document to be sealed so tight. It might help to talk things over with Mio if I get stuck. Let's have a quick look at the 7 curses thing first before we dive into this. So, here we go, mockingbirds. How many do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got half. Not too bad. So let's have a quick look at the main document here. So Honjo became known as a hotspot, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at the Whispering Canal. Something about the fisherman, terrifying voice, leave it behind, leave it behind. Kills by drowning, one who leaves the curse bearer behind. Carp. Parents loved her dearly. One day, however, the father disappeared. Toki's mother went to look for him and never came back. Those who visited to express concern about she stopped. Okay, so it's Carp and the Whispering Canal. I wonder if it's these numbers. So Whispering Canal comes first. The taiko is a drum. That's 8. Evergreen Beach, I think, was hinted at. There was a reed. That's number 10. Okay, so maybe we do it in sort of numerical order then. Let's have a look. So we'll go with Carp. Which Light and Beach is the one I sort of don't know, but I can cross-check. Hang on. The Beckoning Light is number 5, so it's before the Beach. Okay, let's try that. Actually, these are in order. Light, Beach, Drum, Reed. Is that not it?
I don't think that was right.
Nope, no good.
Let's consult with her, see what she says. It won't explode or anything, so we might as well give it a try.
I see, okay.
That's consulting, is that? Do you recognize any of the things on these seals? They sort of look familiar. Maybe there'd be something in our files.
I see, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know what order the mysteries are in. So we've got Canal, Light, Beach. Unless the light is the ever-burning lantern. Could well be. So let's switch those ones round. Let's do the lantern last. So we'll go Carp, Beach, Drum, Reed, Light. No. I don't think that was right.
Nope, no good.
Okay, back to the files. I mean, that's definitely carp, isn't it? I mean, it specifically mentions it. Does it even have a thing of the Kirsten is a carp? Okay. That is a light. We know that's a beach. We know that taiko is a drum. That's a foot. That's reeds. That's a lantern. So what could there be in the files that's kind of suggesting an order here? I mean, these are listed in the same order. Is there something in the pictures? Let's have a look. So the Whispering Canal. I can't see anything that's an obvious number. Let me pause. I'm going to have a think about this. I'll come back. Okay, so I did look up a bit of a guide. It said to look into the particular mysteries that we think relate to the parts of the seal. And it seems that it's not this order. There is kind of a chronological order of the resentful memories as they're told. And it tells the story of a family that all died. So we have this old man, this ukiyo painter, whose granddaughter comes to visit him. She tells him about her dreams and he starts painting things related to the curses and then gets beaten to death. Very sad. Then we have... which one was next? I think it was the beach. So that's the first one. So this one, the man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. So I think that relates to the old man. I'm not exactly sure, but it mentions his local name, Jinkichi. Actually, he was the one who was hanged, I think. He was hung for cheating people. Then it goes to... is it the reed or the canal? The reed. So Okoma was a lovely woman. She was spirited, worked hard, and lived a frugal yet pleasant life until her husband hanged himself. And this husband is Okoma. So remember this name, Okoma. So she goes out, finds the truth from the stranger on the bridge, and ends up being murdered. Then we have the Whispering Canal. And this resentful memory is of a girl, Toki, who had a father, Jinkichi. We'll remember he was the one who was hanged, and her mother, Koma, or Okoma, from the one-sided reed. Blah, 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 blah. So she kind of walks into a river and just fades away. Dies in the water. And then lastly, we have the beckoning light it is, as we first thought. And this one is a guy who's filled with regret for like a family he screwed over, a young couple and their daughter, blah, 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 blah. Yes, this is the last one. So it's that order. It's Taiko, Beach, Reed, Canal Light. Taiko, Beach, Reed, Carp, Light. There we go. Wow, you got it right. It's open. Getting it in just 3 tries. That's great. Nice job. It was easier than I thought. I just looked at which event followed which. Now we can finally read what's written inside. Let's see. The Record of Fates Yin Scroll. It is said that Seiman Toshimikado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descent... I think we've read all this, actually. We've read down to here. Yeah, okay. The text has been preserved in the form of 2 talismans held by Hajime Yoshimi and Michio Shiraishi. It contains a full account of the Honjo incident, and the following is written in Seiman's hand. I bequeath this scroll to future generations to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is my curse echo. My body, that is a living continuation of my bloodline. That might be tough. My spirit, that is my own consciousness. Oh, this would have helped us looking at this Honjo incident thing. Okay, let's read this, because this kind of explains the last puzzle. This is a story that takes place in the late Edo period. There was once a family that lived in a row house in Honjo. The family consisted of a Netsuki craftsman named Jinkichi, his wife Koma, and their daughter Toki. They enjoyed a poor but happy existence. One day they took in a man by the name of Blank, who claimed to be a shimoji. He was on the run, having barely escaped with his life from something or other, and wound up in Honjo. The tough circumstances had left him sick and destitute. Jinkichi felt sorry for the man and decided to shelter him. The stranger was deeply grateful for the kindness and care of Jinkichi's family, as without it he would have surely died, and told them thusly on the day of his departure, "I want to give you my thanks, but unfortunately I have nothing of value." He paused, then asked, "Is there anyone you want to bring back to life?" It turns out the man's true name was Tsushimikado Seiman, a descendant of renowned Onmyoji, and he had been researching the fabled rite of resurrection. For his crime in unearthing this forbidden rite, he was chased out by his family, but he wrote down everything about the spell in a book he named The Record of Fates while on the run. Whoever sought to perform the rite would need to kill people and gather their soul dregs. Seiman had only researched the rite out of the spirit of inquiry, but thought himself willing to use the rite if it was for the sake of Jinkichi's family. However, Jinkichi shook his head. "Sacrificing someone is unthinkable. We didn't help you because we wanted something in return, so you owe us nothing," he said, declining the unbelievable offer. Seiman bowed his head in gratitude countless times at those words and left their house. In the same area there lived an ukiyo artist known as Old Man Kanzo. His art didn't sell much, but he often looked after Toki while Jinkichi and Koma were out working. Young Toki heard Seiman's talk about the rite of resurrection, but, being too young to comprehend it, regaled it to Old Man Kanzo as a story of fiction. Old Man Kanzo, inspired by the story and filled with renewed vigour, put his heart and soul into his next painting. The piece, centred around the theme of resurrection, became an instant hit in town. Jinkichi, this might have opened up as a result of us doing the seals, in fact. Jinkichi, being a shrewd businessman, saw an opportunity and jumped on the bandwagon by carving Netsuki connected to Old Man Kanzo's ukiyo. He made up stories about his Netsuki, telling the people that their blessings were connected to resurrection, and his business rapidly flourished. That man unknowingly left us a wonderful gift, thought Jinkichi and his family, but they were unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. Before long, word of Old Man Kanzo's wonderful ukiyo reached the ears of the local daimyo, and he was summoned to the lord's residence. But what awaited him was not praise, but cruel torture at the hands of Ashino, a female Onmyoji who was in pursuit of Seiman. It was her who pressured Seiman into researching the rite of resurrection, which she secretly planned to use to preserve her beauty for all eternity. Who does that sound like? Ashino took advantage of the fact that the daimyo's heart was weak and frail following the loss of his family, and manipulated him into capturing Old Man Kanzo, the source of the recent rumours about resurrection. "Tell me where you heard the rite of the resurrection," Ashino demanded, as the brutal beatings continued. It was said that the eerie sound of the beatings rang out like the beating of a taiko drum night after night, reaching even the watchtower of the Suguru residence. In the end, Ashino's cruel torture secured her the information on Jinkichi's family and the existence of the Record of Fates. The daimyo sent his chief retainer to bring in Jinkichi, and the torture resumed afresh with the new captive. This time she intended to obtain the whereabouts of Seiman and the location of the Record of Fates. Jinkichi didn't know where Seiman went, but even if he did, he had no intention of telling, and stubbornly kept his mouth shut. The torture was pushed too far, and Jinkichi was unintentionally killed before he spoke a word. The daimyo had Jinkichi's corpse hanged from a beech tree and declared that, unable to bear the guilt of the crime of deceiving the masses with false rumours of resurrection, Jinkichi had committed suicide. This too was all part of Ashino's plan to send a message to the common folk, especially the increasing number of those who sought out the rite of resurrection for themselves. News of what happened to Jinkichi spread, and people lost interest in the rite, wondering if the stories of resurrection were all but a lie. But rumours that the daimyo's word was perhaps not all that truthful spread quickly when a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief retainer's cold-blooded handiwork firsthand, and Honjo fell into unrest once more. The chief retainer arrested the girl and proposed a deal to put a stop to the rumours. The girl was to say she just wanted attention and to retract her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given a most wondrous stage to perform on. But when the day came, she was suffocated by the mask prepared for the performance. Unbeknownst to her, the mask had been covered with glue as part of the plan to kill and silence her. Koma never believed for a moment that her husband Jinkichi had committed suicide. She was certain someone was behind his death and asked around persistently for the names, addresses, and any other information she could find on people with connections to the daimyo. The chief retainer would not allow things to escalate any further and had Tomezo, a ronin who once served as a spy, go after her. However, she turned the table on him, shouting, "It was you who killed my husband, wasn't it?" Confronted with the accusation, Tomezo flew into a blind rage and cut Koma down in broad daylight. Ordered to take responsibility for his failure by committing seppuku, he exposed the daimyo's plot as he disemboweled himself by the lantern of the soba cart used to give coded signals. With both her parents gone through means unbeknownst to her, Toki found herself to be all alone. One day late at night she went searching for her parents and met her doom falling into a canal where she drowned. Meanwhile, the chief retainer had made no headway whatsoever in finding Seiman's whereabouts, and an incensed Ashino decided to set fire to his residence, burning him alive. In truth, all those connected to these events thus far were cursed by Ashino so that their souls would turn into soul dregs upon death, which she had been collecting. All she needed to perform the rite now was to get her hands on the Record of Fates. Sensing that there was something at work behind the recent string of strange events in Honjo, Seiman returned to find he was too late. He broke down in tears when he learned of the unfortunate and unnatural deaths Jinkichi's family had met. Seiman realized it was the handiwork of Ashino when he found their soul dregs had been collected, and decided he had to prevent any further sacrifices from happening by confronting her on Hoenji Bridge. What ensued was a fierce battle of spells that endured till the break of dawn, though those who did not know any better only saw what they believed to be eerie flashes and supernatural orbs of light. At the end of the long battle, Ashino defeated Seiman and obtained the Record of Fates, but he had placed a curse upon her foot. Ashino dragged her foot, corrupted and horribly inflamed, and sought refuge at the nearby residence of a retainer, and angrily demanded they wash her foot. Ashino died then and there, filled with agony, and her foot cursed and rotten. Seiman too, having sustained serious wounds during their fight, died that day on Hoenji Bridge, still filled with regret. However, Seiman came back to life. Knowing that there would be enough soul dregs in place during their confrontation, he had prepared a spell that would activate the rite of resurrection upon his passing. Feeling that his curiosity was responsible for the terrible tragedy that had unfolded, he was left with a keen understanding of why the rite of resurrection was forbidden, and became determined to seal it away. Indeed, the reason he'd resurrected himself was for that very purpose. However, he did not know what had become of the Record of Fates. With nothing to seal away, he instead used the remaining soul dregs to turn 9 of the Netsuki made by Jinkichi into ritual implements to be sealed away in Honjo. He placed a spell so that should someone try to activate the rite of resurrection again, all 9 pieces will awaken at once. And to pass the whole truth of these events to future generations, he wrote everything down in the Records of Fate's Yin scroll and passed it down to his descendants. Meanwhile, the townspeople kept silent about the incidents out of fear of being cursed. However, these occurrences were so strange that gossip about it couldn't truly be contained. Over time, the details became more and more vague as the stories grew into legends, and that is how they came to be called the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. So which one is his then? Is it the ever-burning lantern? That's the sober cart. Maybe it is the beckoning light. Yeah, this is his. The beckoning light is Seiman's curse stone. Interesting. We've got the full story now. What happened? I see.
What does it say?
First is a detailed account of the tragedy surrounding the rite of resurrection that occurred in Honjo back in the Edo period. The whole story of what we call the Honjo incident is laid out clearly.
That incident was the origin of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo and their curses, right?
Yes. The resentment of the victims of the incident turned into curses, which are the curse echoes. The contents are organised like an answer sheet, so it doesn't just give us the information we need.
Ah, is there anything else?
Yes, here's what we've been looking for. I bequeath this scroll to future generations to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident, it says.
Whoa, he foresaw all of this happening?
And it continues. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is my curse echo.
So we've got that.
My body, that is a living continuation of my bloodline. My mind, that is my own consciousness. Wow, so if we gather these 3 things in one place, Seiman's rite of cleansing will activate and completely negate the curses in the rite of resurrection.
Oh, that's it. That's exactly what we need.
But the three things are Seaman's soul, body, and mind. It says the soul is Seaman's curse echo.
His curse echo? So Seaman himself is part of the Seven Mysteries?
Now that you mention it, Mr. Ariishi said something along those lines before. There's another hint written here. My curse echo holds my curse. My curse brings ruin to curse bearers.
What kind of hint is that? Maybe it'll make more sense as we keep looking.
But will the curse echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Next, the body is a descendant of Seaman's, it seems. Wasn't Yoshimi a relative of Seaman? He and Michio Shiraishi who had the other talisman. Ah, both of them had already passed by the time this iteration of the curses was unleashed.
Damn, that's true. What are we gonna do?
This bloodline was so split up, there have to be others. Oh, there's another note here too.
Where? Is it another hint?
As for the body, seek not only one who bears my blood, but one with strong spirit sense. Such an individual will be able, if a spirit attempts to possess them, to instead take control of that spirit themselves. So it says.
Do we know of anyone like that?
I can't think of anyone. Let's move on for now. Next is the mind.
What's the difference between the mind and the soul?
In paranormal theory, it said that humans are made up of soul, body, and mind. The mind is essentially thought to be part of the spirit that makes up one's consciousness, or one's self. It's like driving. The body is the car, the soul is the control system, and the mind is the driver.
I see. I think that makes sense. So is there a hint for finding this one too?
Well, let's see. There's this. Should the rite of resurrection be activated elsewhere, so too shall my mind be awakened there. Seaman tried to seal away the rite of resurrection. But before he could, Ashino stole the Record of Fates. So as a countermeasure to the rite being activated, he made it so that his mind would be released from the seal.
Okay, but what does that actually mean?
What it means is, Seaman's mind awoke the night the rite was activated and must be possessing someone out there right now.
What?
So we have to get that person together with everything else.
Alright, so we have to find the curse echo, the descendant, and the person possessed by Seaman. Then we just get them together in one place and we'd be good to go.
Right, but there is one thing. The second and third ones could both be the same person.
Ooh, but who could that be?
It's like how Michio lost her memories when she was possessing Yako. Seaman's consciousness might not be aware of who it really is. So if he learned the truth, would he start to act of his own accord?
Oh, then that person could already be...
Oh, hold on a second. Someone's coming this way.
Huh?
I don't know who this is, so I don't know what accent to do. Excuse me, could I talk to you for a minute? It's Yoko called it. Who might you be? Would you buy this empty can of juice I just finished drinking for 10,000 yen?
Huh?
I'll even throw in these bones for some fried chicken. You can't beat a deal like this. I don't really want them. Don't say that. Come on, they're delicious. Actually, I thought I might just have a picnic right here. Won't you join me? Sorry, I don't understand. What should we do?
Well, it's not like we need this exact spot and we can't do anything with other people around. Let's just move somewhere else.
Don't turn back on her. I'm sorry, we're in the middle of something, so we'll just be on our way. Don't turn your back on her. What?
It hurts.
Oh, this is a curse. Oh, Yoko. What did we do wrong? Is that the true end? Doesn't feel like it. What happens now? Haha, storyteller.
You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. This brings the story of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo to a close. And who could have foreseen such a conclusion? Unfortunately, it seems the so-called mastermind was one step ahead of you. She remains hidden, leaving behind no evidence. Perhaps there is truly no way to stop her. However, should you find that this conclusion is not to your liking, by all means pursue a different path. You've done it once before, so I'm sure you already know how. With that, I shall be taking my leave.
I've been your humble storyteller. Good night. Interesting. So, the ones we have... Okay, so... those are actually endings. But we can go back to Last Resort, interestingly. I'll consider this, but I'll end this here, but I will say that there will perhaps be one episode after this, so we won't end the series here, because I'd like to come back and see the true ending, if I can. But yeah, so thanks very much for watching this episode of Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, all kind of tying together there. Pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please do hit the thumbs up button on the video. Leave me a comment. It was a slightly longer video, this one I know, so hopefully it's got some interesting stuff in. So let me know what you think about that. And also, if you've made it this far and you've not subscribed already, then please do so. Subscribe to the channel. It'd be great to have you. So thanks very much once again, and I'll hope to see you next time for possibly more of Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Bye for now.